Yep, got the cloud. We're in.
Emerson Willis, I appreciate you coming on Quoted today. You are certainly somebody that I rely on, that HedgeQuote relies on when it comes time to discuss flood insurance, and we certainly consider you an expert there. You are the founder, the owner of Yep Insurance, but today I wanted to discuss another program and another business that you operate, I think in conjunction, certainly because we see the tie-ins. But first and foremost, Emerson Willis, my friend, welcome to Quoted.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Pat. This is a privilege for me. And I love what you're doing, the idea of how you help other people out. And I think that this is a great opportunity just for the listeners, for us, for everybody. I think it's a win-win. I'm excited.
And the help part's a great way to launch into this because your day-to-day is you're a flood insurance expert. You also own an insurance brokerage. So you can handle a lot of different things on the insurance side of things. But today, let's talk about home security. I'm not going to pull them out, but right next to, and maybe I will. Let's see what I got here. I got my security system here.
Awesome.
But I don't think that's enough.
So let's go straight in. So Vivint, I'll give you a little backstory. I'll be quick about it, but it kind of just ties into how this all happened. Many years ago, gosh, it was like 8 years ago, somebody knocked on my door at my house. And I'm not typically the best person to knock my door and sell me something. I'm just, because I'm a sales guy, so I can smell every single sales pitch. I'm just like, ugh, but anyways, I actually, my daughter was brand new born. She was young. And so my thoughts as to protecting my home are much different than it was when it was just my wife and I. I started thinking about my kids. I thought differently about just when I would lay my head down at night. I was like, man, like, what if someone busted in the door? What if I forgot to lock a door? I mean, just stuff like, goes through your head, and you think differently when you have a family. And I think the thing it's important about it is like, what are the most important things to us? Like, of course, like family, is super important. So we want to protect that, but it's also like our home, So anyways, go back to the door knock. In my mind, I was already wanting a solution for that. I just hadn't taken action. This guy came to my door and just happened to be at the right place at the right time. I welcome him into my house. I sat him down at the kitchen table, and I was blown away with what the company was. This is like pre-me really being into flood insurance. I was doing some insurance on the side, but I was just blown away as who they were as a company. And I signed up on the spot. They had this system installed in my house that night. I love Vivint because a lot of the other security companies, they go out there and they do a lot of third party, their installers are third party. Their people who consult are third parties. It's all mixed up. Vivint, 100%, everybody that works for them is Vivint. They're a W2 employee. So everything about them right off the bat was awesome. And I was really excited because I was like ready to protect my family, like right now, you know what I mean? Like it was already bugging me a lot, And I live in a nice neighborhood. I'd never heard of anybody getting broken into. It's just one of those things. So, so I was a customer first. What I loved about them is, I'll talk a little bit about some of the products. I love the doorbell camera because I see somebody coming up to my door. I can see their face. I can talk to them through it. I can actually open up my phone on my app when I'm not at home and talk to the person at my front door. And let's say I got an Amazon package delivered, which we all know we're going to have some of those coming up here soon and come Christmas time. But if someone decides to come onto my porch and grab my Amazon package, I'm going to see their face, and I'm going to have a recording of it, a video. I could even talk to them if I wanted to. So that was a really cool feature. They threw in some really cool discounts, which is something I'll tell you a little bit more about. But the one thing I also liked, it was the automatic door lock that's tied into the system. From my phone, I can unlock my front door. I could be anywhere in the world as long as I have internet. I've done that before when I have a friend come by and they're going to check on my dogs or something. I can literally just unlock it, let them in. I've got cameras, so I can make sure, they're not doing anything funny, but usually they're friends. But we can, I can give a friend a code that's temporary for a while. it's just really crazy what life is like when your home becomes a smart home. You totally have a different perspective. I mean, it goes so much further than just protecting your family, but there's a lot of other great benefits. But the reason I mentioned that doorbell camera is that seems to be the hottest thing that people really love about the Vivint smart home stuff on top of everything they have. I personally do, because that's the number one place people come to your house is your front door. So it's actually a lot of value. We've had somebody when we were out of town, they came and did the doorbell ditching, and it was the neighbor's boy, and I had him on camera, and I thought it was hilarious because when I was growing up, we could get away with that. So um, anyway, so yeah, a little more about Vivint. When you kind of start looking at them side by side with other companies, I do know they're the number one largest smart home company in the country. So they're awesome there. They have about a couple million customers across North America. They do, gosh, what is it? I think that they've been in business for about 11 years here, if I have that correct. I'm not, don't quote me on that. As a customer, I fell in love with them. And so as an insurance broker, I always had it in the back of my mind for my business. I was like, I need to reach out to these guys. I would like to offer this service to my clients because it makes so much sense. The reason being is you buy insurance to protect your assets, right? Your home or whatever it is, your car. The insurance kicks in if you have the loss. The idea of this that's even better is if you can prevent any of those losses, then you don't have to make the claim. I mean, and sometimes, yeah, if you have insurance, that's great. But let's use an example. Let's say a pipe bursts in your wall or a toilet floods and you're gone and your basement's filling up with water and you could be gone, I don't know, for the day. It doesn't take long for your house to fill up. You might have insurance for that, but coming home to that mess and dealing with it, I guarantee you talk to anybody who's been through it, it's a nightmare. I mean, it depends on what you have in your basement. It could be, valuables that you really cherish. And it's like, if that situation can be avoided, which it can be, or at least you can mitigate against it, that brings a lot of value to the table. And so that's why I love the idea of bringing that on. So we actually were able to score a very awesome partnership with Vivint. They don't typically just hand these out because we also work with hundreds of agencies all over the country through other broker programs that we allow them to access. They gave us basically a partnership where we're able to offer this partnership to other insurance brokers. Or here's the other thing, you don't have to be an insurance broker. If you're looking for a side hustle and you want to make some extra money offering this awesome service to your client base, really all that matters is that you know people who own a home. I mean, I think we all know people who own homes. So you can make a bunch of money off it. I have a friend who was just looking for a job, didn't have anything to do. And I said, you know what? I'll get you hooked up on this and you can go start sharing it with your network. So anybody can make money at this. And we have a really nice override program that we've negotiated. You also get to give exclusive discounts to any of your customer base that you would not get if, let's say, you called in directly to Vivint Smart Home. But yeah, Vivint Smart Home is really awesome. They have a whole variety of different products. They have flood sensors. Going back on that water claim, if your water was leaking and you were out, you would get a notification on your cell phone and it would tell you, hey, you're having a water leak right now. So at least you have the chance to get back and deal with that before it gets too crazy. One feature I really love is the automated thermostat that's hooked into my smart system. I can control it from my phone. I can set schedules, which I know a lot of thermostats do that, but I tell you what, we save a ton of money. We save enough money on our heating and cooling to pay for the system alone, which is awesome. So we have indoor cameras. They have something called a Vivint, I believe it's the ping camera, but I have this camera set up in my front room. I can talk to people through it. So even if I'm not at home, we can communicate back and forth through this camera from my phone. So I can not only monitor my house, but I can talk to someone there. And I set up all kinds of rules within the smart home. Like if it sees something move, it'll start recording and it keeps all that in the cloud. So it's just crazy. There's that. The doorbell camera I talked about. You can also hook up your lighting. All your lighting in your house can be automated from your system. So you could control it. You can automate it. You can do your garage door. There's the other pieces that are, I think people take that are not, they don't think about as much as obviously the smoke sensor, but the carbon monoxide. They've had situations where they've saved people's life literally almost days after they've installed the system. A lot of people will have their traditional carbon monoxide sensors in their house, and we assume that they work. We don't know, but generally speaking, they're not foolproof. The systems they have are tied into your security system, so they have 24/7 monitoring. So if the carbon monoxide levels go up, it's not like you get a beep going off. They actually contact you. It'll go off on your sky panel, and they'll say, hey, look, we're getting high carbon monoxide readings, what's going on there, basically. And so they had a situation with a family that had it installed, and 3 days later, they were in the middle of the night. Thing went off. The monitor gets on there, and they start talking to them. They said, hey, look, we're getting high readings. So they got the fire department over. The fire department came in the house and told them that we need to evacuate you immediately. They said if you would have not left the house that night, they wouldn't have woken up, their whole entire family. It's all about protecting what you love. That's really what it comes down to: your house, your family, the values there. I mean, a lot of people, I've talked to people about security too. There's break-ins and things like that. If you actually read what goes on out there, crazy things happen. And, we all think we're the exception, but you never know. And the idea is, you want to plan ahead. And as far as like monitoring goes, when you look at the competition, there's a lot of other security systems out there. Number one key is the monitoring. They have 24/7 monitoring, and it's not third party. It's exclusive to Vivint. So their response times are less than a minute. They're actually within the seconds, I believe, 8 to 10 seconds. Most companies are upwards and over a minute. If someone broke into your house, we need to be talking right away. Like, seconds matter. You know what I mean? I was kind of freaking out one night because our system wasn't working, and I called in and I got someone, and we got it resolved at literally like 1 a.m. in the morning. So here's the thing with it. If you want to be able to offer this, or if you're interested as a customer, obviously at Yep Insurance, you can come. We have exclusive deals. You can come if you're just looking to buy it and you want to take advantage of our discounts. You can see on our tab, we have a Vivint drop-down offer. But if you're interested in kind of, doing a side hustle with this, and you want to go out there and share it with homeowners and other people that are interested in protecting their families and their homes, I can actually get you set up on your own code, and you'll make overrides. They can range anywhere from $100 to $300 a pop, and you don't do any delivery. All you do is get them to raise their hand and say, I want this discount. You connect them with Vivint. They take care of the rest. You just generated yourself a nice commission check. I mean, it's the easiest thing I've ever done. For my clients, we have the conversation on the phone. I tell them how I feel about how I'm a happy customer, and most of the time they're like, wow, I'd really love to do that. They get like free installation. They can get free doorbell cameras. Sometimes we have other promotions going where we can throw in additional stuff. So it's a killer deal, and you just can't. It's a very easy thing to sell, is what I'm saying, and there's almost no delivery, so that's really important.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, and that's what I've grown accustomed to dealing with Yep on an insurance level, and to see the flow, to see the plug-in, and you went through everything. You own it personally.
Yeah.
You're an insurance agent in risk management that recommends it and understands the dynamics of, mitigating and preventing a claim is certainly the most cost efficient way to own insurance. And you have an exclusive offer. So those three things were the elements that I wanted to make sure we touched on. The one thing that really set me off and wanted me to get you on quoted to talk about this more than anything was I walked from my house about a mile and a half to the downtown that we have. And I walked by probably 4 signs for Vivint. So when you start to see that growth, and then you have somebody that you respect. Like, I really truly respect your opinion and the way
Thanks,
that
man.
you approach risk management. I have a lot of respect for that as well. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure, and we talked about this as well, that in the
Mm,
show notes, we'll have the way to get in touch with you, a little
mm,
more info and links to the exclusive offer that you have. And we'll kind of go from there. But
mm.
Emerson, I appreciate you coming on Quoted today. I appreciate you literally touching every key point.
No problem.
And, I appreciate you looking out for other people too. That's the
Mhm.
coolest thing about everything I've experienced with you. Before I let you go, is there anything that we need to shout out?
Go on Yep Insurance, you'll see a variety of stuff. We have partner programs. Right now, we're doing something we're very excited about that's relevant to the entire workspace. As far as companies, when you work at a company, you get benefits. We're doing something that's more kind of a technology-based, HR admin benefits system, and we've wrapped some really awesome things into that. So I'm just excited to continue to bring value to people, because I think that that's what it's all about. No matter what you do, if what does that old Zig Ziglar guy say, is if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. I love helping other people. I love bringing value where it really matters. That really drives what we do. So, I know that that's what you do, Patrick, and I appreciate that. And I think that's why we get along so well. That's why there's such a good synergy here. So yeah, if you want to know what Yep Insurance is up to, you can come scroll around the site. We've got a lot of very exciting things going on, and we're about to launch a flood insurance rater on the market. There's none that exists right now, and it quotes like 10 different carriers in less than a minute. And right now that would normally take a couple of hours, and most of these carriers are off the radar. So this is like a niche in a box. If someone's looking for an industry to get into, this flood insurance niche right now is popping. You can make a fortune. So maybe, someone might be inspired to get their insurance license if they're looking for some sort of, opportunity. There's the Vivint thing. We've got so much stuff we can work on together. So happy to help anybody.
That's always been the key message, is collaboration and how can I help? And I'm glad that's the way that you decided to sum it up as well. Emerson Willis, Yep Insurance. I really appreciate you coming on Quoted today, talking about how we can protect our houses, how we can upgrade. Again, this is a smart home type of conversation. This isn't even security systems. So Emerson, again, man, really appreciate your time today, and can't wait to share this story with everybody.
Cheers, man. I really appreciate your time, and thanks for having me on. I'd be happy to hop on anytime.